Hey, how are you guys? It's Mitch here from Century 21 United in Peterborough. This is my first YouTube video. I want to start today by talking about why you might be interested in buying a building lot, how to do it, and what some of the important things are that you got to know about buying a building lot for your own principal residence. Can I buy a building lot, build my own house, make it what I want it, try and save a bit of money over the current market conditions and versus, what's $500,000 going to get me if I could buy a lot and build my own house versus buying a resale property and maybe having a bit of a renovation budget or just buying it as is. And it seemed to me a lot of people were interested in doing it for the same reason that we were, which was one, not only trying to get exactly what we wanted, but two, trying to sort of beat the market a bit and get a little bit more value for our dollar than buying things at the current price levels, especially at the time a couple of years ago when the markets were going pretty crazy. So the first thing I want to tell you is that we could not have bought this lot if we hadn't have sold a prior property and had a place to stay in between. I've known a couple of friends that have done the same thing as us, other than builders and contractor types or people running a business. When it comes down to just individuals, those people all had the exact same formula, which was they sold their current home, they had good equity, they used that combined with their own savings to have the cash to buy that lot. So that right there is the number one biggest thing that you need to know about buying a lot, is that you cannot finance that land. You have to pay cash for that land, and that right there is going to rule out a large portion of the people that are looking to buy building lots, because a lot of people that are our age, unless they've owned a property for several years and kind of caught some of the upswing in the property values, just aren't going to have the cash to be able to afford a lot. It's not unusual around the Peterborough area to pay, $100,000 would be on the cheaper side of things. That might be a Kijiji find or something that's pre-list, or something through a family friend that you heard about. When things are hitting the MLS, even on Kijiji, a lot of them even private sale, for a 1 acre lot right in that range, you're going to pay anywhere between $150,000 to $200,000, and then it just goes up from there. The better it's positioned around water, the larger in size, the closer to town, and really quickly it gets unfeasible because not a lot of people have $150,000, $200,000 in cash ready to go, get sort of plunked down on this lot and sit there for the entire duration of construction, and then still have capital for day-to-day living for one, and then closing costs. Because you got to remember, you're still going to have a pretty cash-heavy scenario at the end when you got to pay land transfer tax. There's the odd trade in between that might be looking for cash. There's all kinds of scenarios where you're going to run really cash tight trying to buy a building lot. So there's really only a couple ways to go about this. You got your own savings, you got equity from your home, and you got sort of equity loans from your parents, or it could be gifted. The topic of a construction loan is a whole other topic entirely, and planning that process and taking those draws, getting quotes from sub-trades, paying those trades, running that job, that's a whole other topic. But you got to be aware that once you buy that land, you need money to finance all of the construction activity right up till the end, until you assume a mortgage on that property, and that's all going to come through construction financing. So basically, in summary here, because this is just sort of a quick glance at what it takes to buy a building lot, because a lot of people had this question for me, you got to have the cash and you got to have the means to get construction financing afterwards. You're going to have to sell the house first, have that cash in your bank. You're going to need somewhere to stay in between. Almost all of the people I spoke with stayed with family in the time in between, which can be anywhere from half a year to a year and a half or even longer. So that's it. there's a lot of barriers to entry when it comes to buying land and building your own house. And when it comes to one of the second reasons a lot of people do it, which is other than just to get what they want to try and save themselves some money. I think that a lot of people are going to be upset to find out what their final bill comes through as when they realize some of the efficiencies that they would have gotten through hiring a builder. So just an example is when you run that job, you're the general contractor now when you're building your own house, you're going to pay a builder anywhere between 10 to 30% of the gross sales price of a custom project, and they'll probably quote you that stuff right up front. Is you're either going to do a fixed rate or they're going to quote you something you'll have percentage based. There's a few different ways to go about it, but say it's 30%, and that builder is going to charge you 30% of the total final bill of all the work that they do. That's going to be their markup for conducting the job, financing it, buying the materials, running the trades. The thing is that when you go to buy all your construction materials, you're not going to have the discounting that they do. So you might actually pay, 30 or even just 10% more on materials than the builder is going to pay anyhow. And then after that, they're going to have a lot better pricing with the trades than you're going to have. So yeah, you're paying that builder that money, but you're going to find when it all comes down to the bottom line that you might not have been able to do it as efficiently as you anticipated. You might go through a ton of work building this place, nights and weekends, long hours, cleaning, planning, calling trades, chasing people down, changing things, and quoting materials, all to find out that you might have only saved, let's just say $15,000 versus what you would have going the other route and just hiring a builder or buying a builder's lot off of them and going through them for the whole build. So that's not to say that you can't do it. It's just be prepared for the challenges, know your barriers to entry, that you got to have that cash to begin with, and understand that there is a lot to consider when it comes to building your own house. And I think a lot of people kind of get blindsided in terms of how much work there is and really how many different things there is to know and how many things can go wrong that you're not going to be prepared for when it comes to building your own place like that. So don't let that be a discouragement, guys. Lots of people do it. Lots of people are successful with it. Lots of people do it once and they go on to repeat it again because they love it. But I would caution that the ones that seem to succeed the most have either some sort of background in construction or anything mechanical to begin with, or they have a good background in network that's in that trade group. And it's got to be really strong where these are people that you can count on and call on, and you're going to be asking a lot from them as you progress through this build. So I hope that was helpful, guys. I'm wide open to your suggestions when it comes to future content for these videos. Next week, I want to cover secondary suites, and that's making a legal in-law suite in the basement of an existing detached residence. And from there, we're going to go over a bunch of things: well and septic, running a construction schedule, how to analyze cap rates on investment properties. I'm thinking about going over some of the stuff about Peterborough's official plan, what you're going to see change in the future. You name it, guys. I'm interested in bringing to you whatever you want to hear from me. I'm in this industry. It's my job to educate myself every day, and I just want to make myself of value to you by taking what I'm learning on the job and bringing it forward to you and trying to make useful content for you guys. So please, guys, feel free to subscribe. I would love to have some interaction with the audience. Comments, good or bad, obviously they're all welcome. If I'm doing something wrong, I got to hear about it. And if there's something else you want to see, I'd love to hear about that too. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week.